Hello and welcome back to the left side of reality. This is your host as always, Snow the First. Last time, we took a crack at day 47 and did not quite succeed. We got close, but White Fixer did a White Fixer. And this time, well, the only thing we can really do is ram our heads against a brick wall, unless we want to do a day one reset to collect more stuff, but I honestly don't think that's even all that needed. Like, I feel like we have all the tools we need to win, it's just what configuration to use them. Unfortunately, a part of it is purely based on luck, depending on how the ordeals play out. So, we just go. If my voice sounds a little foggy, it's because I'm recovering from a cold that hit my household not too long ago. I still feel it a smidge, but I feel well enough to stream, albeit like last week only one attempt. Also, only just now I remembered that we have a Malkuth to deal with. I need to get something to write on. Where's the thing I used? What a fantastic start to this stream. Me just fumbling around randomly because I don't remember where I left anything at the right on. At this point I'll just grab a blank sheet. Speaking of the usual business, though, we need to delete but the extraction because Mountain of Smiling Bodies is a thing. And if you guys will remember last week, apparently I stopped knowing what to do with Mountain when things are all mixed up. Yep, that was all of them. Okay, so what are we starting out with? Mary, check Skullbro here. Instinct is attachment. Cool. Alright, what's insight? Insight is repression. Alright, then our penultimate little work here is attachment equals blank. instinct. Then by process of elimination, repression is insight. In a sense, this is very much going to be second verse, same as the first. We're just going to spend a lot of time grinding on A-lifts as much as possible to preload on energy. I wish this piece of paper would stand still. Okay, our first one is Mountain of Smiling Bodies. So that's with the insight, because I wanted to raise someone's... yeah. Or you know what? We may as well play it safe. Meanwhile, Adam here will work on Bad and Will Be Bad Wolf. Also get VOV level boxes whenever possible. Look at that! I didn't screw up Mountain of Smiling Bodies right away. It's a miracle. Oh, may as well move these people downstairs for now. Repression is insight. Oh, we can't do anything with censored right now. No, we could do it instinct. At least I think we could do instinct. Yeah. So that's attachment. Alright. I forget whether I've said this on stream before or not, but one of the unfortunate things that can happen in life is finding things out the hard way. In my case, I recently found out the hard way that I'm allergic to cats. Because my younger sister had decided to... or my younger sister had an adult cat that got knocked up and gave birth to a litter of kittens, so she gave them away wherever possible, and our family decided to take in a trio of kittens, and unfortunately, it was when the kittens started living at my house that I discovered that apparently my body really doesn't like playing nice with them. So it goes. Well, it could have been worse. I could have discovered a food allergy the hard way. That would have been very terrible. One of my cousins is allergic to shrimp, so he has never eaten shrimp once in his life. Which is a shame, because shrimp is good, but that's just how it goes. Okay, what other fogs are in the area that I can mess with? Queenie! Oh wait, I think that was I might be sneezing a lot because of the aforementioned allergy. Although I may try to unplug my mic when possible. Right. Just do everything that's in the area. If anyone has a particular topic in mind, then I'd be glad to hear it, because I didn't actually have anything in particular in mind this week. But then again, it feels like a lot of my focus is going to be on this. Really, the condition of reaching 6 while filling energy doesn't feel like it's a big deal. It's entirely down to the white ordeals that's the problem. Alright, so for the first meltdown, as always, if it's a tool that feels like it's a pain in the ass, we can just skip it. I guess one new thing that has started recently is that I've begun Final Fantasy XIV again. And I have been, for the most part, enjoying myself. But at the same time, I low-key remember why I stopped. Because just the content that's earlier in the game is manageable and something I enjoy. But then it comes down to the content that's like very high end, and it's like at some point my skill level just fell behind from what the game is asking of you. Okay, what's melting down? Flesh idol's melting down. I'm kind of okay with that. Okay. Let's remember to count to 5 ticks and not kill London, because that has happened before. One, 2, 3, 4, 5. I am so glad the TQ LP specifically tells you that it's 5 picks. Okay, for the time being, I'm taking out 3 from here. And then we're gonna see what the game demands from us from there. Now the thing is, in a single player game, I'd be happy to just kind of spend a while learning mechanics and just trying it again and again. But Final Fantasy XIV is not a single player game. It's an MMO. So your actions are directly contributing or not contributing to what the team is doing. And it never feels good to let people down. To see people that were depending on you watch you perform poorly. Especially because as an MMO, they can tell you what they feel to your face. And really, that kind of pressure more than anything is why I quit 14. And it's not like I'm back on 14 for good. I may just decide to not keep up a subscription after a month passes. But I did want to clean up some loose ends. I do want to take a crack at Voidcast Gaius before the 30 months are up, or 30 days are up. Even if I don't start Dawn Trail at all, because it's a separate payment for that, and I'm kind of low on cash right now. Even if I don't play Dawn Trail, a part of me does want to just kind of get that off my bucket list, so to speak. On a related note to 14, because internet algorithms are a thing, me playing 14 also means I'm getting 14 related content on my feed. Oof, this roll. Rather unfortunate. You know what? I forget that architecture exists, so I forgot that Galena's down here. Doing Galena things. What is a Galena thing? Type your answers in the comment. Type your answers in the chat. I have a question, actually, I've been meaning to ask. So for Library of Ruina, is the Hifrith floor also double-sized like it is in Lobcore, or is it not? No? I guess that was only a Lobcore thing. Okay, cool. Then, when I'm translating the nuggets over from Lobcore to Ruina, then I'll take 3 of the people from here in Central Command and make it the rest of the Keter team, and then the rest of Central Command can pop up whenever Tifrith pops up. I am, in fact, still polishing these ideas, even if they won't happen for a long while. Literally, the only reason I moved Galena down to, I moved Galena down to architecture is to then have an excuse to have her show up in Keter once Ruina happens. Because she's being promoted to main character status. She has a theme song, there's really nothing else she would do. I am praying to every deity out there that we get White Fixer first, because White Fixer is what killed the run last time. Although, regardless of when and where White Fixer appears, the other thing to consider is where to kill White Fixer to have the death throws be as least damaging as possible. The one Bob I'm not touching yet is Queen Bee, because I do not need Queen Bee on top of everything else. I just don't want to deal with it. Oh, that's how that happened. Okay. Okay, but back to what I was saying about 14. 14 is very much a cooperative game, both for better and for worse. And it's kind of like, I love 14 when it goes well, just as much as I hate it when it goes badly. You really can't have one without the other. I suppose while we're talking about 14, one of my favorite stories has always been the Hildebrand quests. Just because they're goofy stories that seem to be an excuse for the development team to just do whatever they want with the models and facial expressions. But the most recent stories, at least most recent that I saw, actually have some genuinely touching stories. Basically, the story is that through a series of circumstances that I can't remember right now, Hildebrand got locked into an alien situation that also created a clone of him. I forget what the clone's name was, though. Yeah, Brandahill. And the thing about Brandahild is that it becomes very clear that, unlike Hildebrand, Brandahild is like genuinely competent at detective work and is very smart. But the thing is, not only does Hildebrand not get jealous about it, but it becomes clear that even though Brandahild is like genuinely intelligent, he is still missing that indefinable spark that truly makes Hildebrand Hildebrand. Like, you can't replace Hildebrand. You just can't. And I think I more or less finished with the quest, too. I reached the part where, you know what? Now might be a good time to start moving everyone to welcome our Fixer invaders. Who goes before? Okay, I would say red damage, go down to records, on the off chance that Black Fixer appears there again. Black Fixer seems to love doing that. White damage, you'll go here. This is my least favorite part because it always takes the longest. As always, records and extractions are staying exactly where they are. Everyone else is being moved by their damage type. Black, black. I think it's all black damage up here, yep. So yeah, the overall point is that there's actually quite a lot about 14 that I like. But it's just kind of like, I wish the game didn't ask so much of you at times. And of course it's kind of like, of course a video game is going to get harder as it goes on. That's only natural, but it comes down entirely to the fact that it has a multiplayer aspect. That's it. If it weren't for that, I'd be glad to, like, take some kind of easy mode or otherwise, like, skip over any content I might find too hard. But you can't, it feels weird to do that when you have people depending on you. Sorry if this is getting a bit too real, but these are thoughts I've been kind of tossing around in my head. Wait, why do you have a black weapon and but what? Wee. Okay, you're right. Who say I might leave alone then? Because I'm not sure what's going on with him. Although that reminds me, I did watch the Joe Cat video on 14, and he actually has quite an interesting series of thoughts about it. Mainly to the tune of, okay, I initially approached this game entirely the wrong way, and it affected my enjoyment of it negatively, and I had a much better time with the game once I discovered what the mindset was. And it's that the game is very much a case of the journey is the destination. The journey is more important than the destination. Which is not to say the game doesn't have legitimate flaws. Joe Cat frequently criticized how monotonous the regular quests are, for example. It's not that the writing isn't good. Ah, right, the Pale Crew. You guys can actually wait there for right now, then. But yeah, it's not that the story isn't good, but it's a valid argument that it can be hard to enjoy the story when the associated gameplay is struggling because it is, in fact, a video game at the end of the day. It is very funny that there is in fact a name for the regular RPG quest, and it's called the 20 Bear Asses kind of quest. You know what? Since there's It only just now occurs to me is that since there's no pale fixer, I can grab the white damage people and put them somewhere else. Assign them something else to kill. Like maybe have them support red or black crew. In fact, I might actually do that. First, we'll see what fixers appear. Then we'll decide what to do with the various crews. Gabriella, you be on standby with the rest of the white damage people. We'll see what we can do with you. Red, white, red. I think that's everyone at this point. Yeah. Everyone on the bottom layer has to stay exactly where they are, because they're needed in those areas for one reason or another. In that case, I'm just going to repeatedly spam Pusey on Snow Queen to kick things off for our first white fixer of the day. Or our first white ordeal of the day, which could in fact very much be white fixer. I completely forgot that everything was mixed up. God damn it. Hopefully Pusey doesn't get a kiss from this. Oh, that's a kiss for sure. I cannot send him back there for the rest of the day, otherwise it could go very poorly. Aside from the white ordeals, it feels like the deadliest effect is actually the Malkuth ones, because I keep forgetting it's in play. Odd is deadlier, but it's reversible. Stay in this corridor for right now, so you can immediately go back in. If we use You Must Be Happy, then yeah, his stuff is gonna have to be planned around, but well, we'll cross that bridge when we get there. Red Fixer! Okay. Noah is right there, although they have black armor. You have red resistant armor. I could really have London and Red Fixer be in a stalemate until, These two could hold off Red Fixer until the time comes to send it off. Although the part that sucks is that this means that the the next noon's gonna be on the hot fix up. One of the clerks is already trying to fight the red fixer. I think I got them all. Yep, I did. Okay, you two start wailing on Red Fixer a bit. Everyone else move to a much higher floor. I would say right around here. And you guys move up here. It could be that these two by themselves are enough, because even if London does damage, it doesn't do much damage. He also can... I stand corrected. Red shields. Do I send the red team over there then? Queen of Hatred? That's Canelli. I'm not entirely sure what they have. I suppose I could send Pansy down there, maybe. Or you know what? What I'm gonna do is take the Red Fixer crew and have them do the walk over here, and then just keep an eye on this situation in the meantime. What are you doing? Okay, I think that's the forward laser. Move. Elevator. Oh, right, the pivot move. Does Noah not have a shield anymore? I can't tell. I just realized that myself. Really, the main thing I was doing here was, just kind of doing a delay tactic. Okay, I'm gonna... That might have been a mistake. Because Red Fixer's gonna die, but everyone's just kind of bunched together. So just kind of throw around red shields liberally and hope for the best. It's not like we're gonna need ammo for anything else once this is over. The laser might reach the clerks, is what you're saying. Would, aside from the clerks, I'm guessing you're saying the people in the elevators? I'm not a fan of having to wipe out welfare so soon, but that's already enough to take out to make a mountain angry, so. Right around here is good. Ooh. Oh yeah, that would have hit the elevator crew. That would have been very unfortunate. Okay, so we are currently 3 departments down of clerks. Let's get all the people back to their respective departments. Not me already forgetting who works here. Oh right, I sent the other 2 up. Because it was London and Noah that did all the work. Well, no, London didn't do anything, but she sat there and looked pretty. That's an important job. The Red Fixer team can go back to their place by extraction. We might need them later. All the Fixer teams can go back to their previous positions, because we might need them later. It only now occurs to me that I could, that as long as it's not the same damage type as a respective fixer, I could have some other people from the other teams help contribute kill a specific fixer. I feel like matching damage types is helpful, for red and black in particular. Those are the ones I've consistently been able to slay basically immediately. White is a different matter, like a different beast. Okay, time to check damage types again. Instinct is repression. Unfortunately, we aren't lucky enough to get an early noon again, which means not only are we dealing with black and white, but we're dealing with them while under the effects of Nedzak, I believe is what you were saying. The thing is that Lobcore is a prime example of how no plant survives contact with the enemy. Even if we plan things as carefully as possible, all it takes is for one thing to go a smidge wrong and it all falls apart. Yep, got them all down on my piece of paper. Everyone's stats are still fine, so we're going to take the chance to grind on Aleph more. Unfortunately, once we get to the point where the debuffs kick in, we're going to have to make plans from there. And in fact, don't the debuffs kick in the next cycle? Or in the next, don't the debuffs kick in for the next meltdown? I ask because it could be a problem if one of the meltdowns lands on an Aleph. Well, one Aleph is fine because we have Musona, in theory. Hmm. We're already close to the halfway mark of the day. Okay, but if nothing else, the fact that Black Fixer could be near an Aleph is the entire reason I have parts of the setup that I do. I have the Mountain of Smiling Bodies team in this area, and then I have the anti-Black Fixer crew here, where Censored is. Which is also close to this area, should it need be. I do what I can, and then I pray high and it works. It's really all I can do. Oh, speaking of censored, what's insight currently? Insight is attachment, or rather, attachment makes insight work. I am so glad Noah has a very unmistakable silhouette. Once again, I hope in theory that I can take care of Black Fixer soon enough and have it not be too much of an issue. The real problem is gonna be, the real problem is gonna be White. White's always a problem. And I feel that goes double if Noon really does kick in after the NetZac healing sensors kick in. At that point, it might just be a dead run. Well, and Pale, because Pale literally can't appear today. In theory, yes. Which is why I preload as much as possible. The thought had occurred to me, and I rejected it for basically that reason. Unless it's like some kind of hyper-specific situation where we summon the White Fixer to take out, or we summon rabbits to take out White Fixer at the very beginning of the day, when 25% of energy isn't a very high cost because not much has been collected. Let me put it like this right now. Currently, right now, whatever other problems exist, there's a low chance of seeing Pale Fixer unless it happens immediately after the nuke, which is admittedly possible. But I am very much a hope for the best, expect the worst kind of person. So right now, I am hoping that, right now I am hoping that it won't appear. That's all. If we do get a dusk, then the run might just be dead then and there, or we plan for it. But I will fight to beat the day until I am absolutely forced to quit. It was dawn, so we had the White Dawn to deal with, so we exterminated records with bullets. the funny thing is, I'm pretty sure we only have 3 bullets right now, because I ended up expending a lot of them trying to compensate for the red fixer. Cat allergies, I mentioned earlier. Pardon me while I go blow my nose. Okay, Gabriella, before you wander too far, how's your health? Looks basically untouched. Cool. That means you can also do a round of Judgment Bird. That's a deranged sentence. I genuinely can't tell how many works are left until we reach the next cycle. Okay, I worked with a lot of the usual crew. Who do I have left? I have King of Greed left. I think that means only one, if I'm not mistaken. Meanwhile, Kusetti's on bird duty. Alright. I guess let's ride. Okay, noon coming up. It's butterflies and it's, why can I not see the other one? Oh, it's just Shybug. I am very okay with that. I guess the real question is, now that the hot buffs have kicked in, should I only have Misona take on anything just in case? Okay, Amelia, you have strong enough armor that I don't feel like it matters what it does to you. I will at least try to mitigate damage by having the right work type. Run, Misono, run! I don't doubt that you'll make it, but this also could have gotten worse. It is only just now occurring to me. I mainly want to see how much damage Misona's gonna take from this. It is active. Believe me, it is active. I guess my next question is, at this point, do we send Misona on an all-Aleph tour? Or do we just not even mess with the Alephs at this point? I'm definitely not messing with Censored at this point. Unless I'm told it's okay. I'm not entirely sure what you're trying to see here because the numbers are, everything's too blurry. But there she is. What's... Okay, this is gonna act like it's insight for right now. It's gonna give the insight numbers. Jose. That's Misona. I think that says 51 or 54 or something. Because I think that might be a 6 below it. So ignore all A-lifts until further notice. Misona and maybe Gabriella can go on an all bogs tour then. Because Gabriella has Apocalypse Bird and the highest stats of the facility anyway, so she's probably also safe. You know what? I'm gonna have Gabriella do Mountain, and then Misona can do the logs. Or Gabriella's gonna do Mountain and Judgment Bird, and Misona will do logs. Sounds like a plan. It is a very good thing a lot of my agents look so distinct from each other. Otherwise, this would be a lot worse. Like you were saying before, unfortunately we've hit something of a bad scenario. Because Black Fixer didn't happen early, we're left in a situation where we have to figure out the new works while dealing with Black Fixer. Not fun. Stay here for me. Gabriella barely took any damage from that. That's what we call the best agent in the entire facility. Just casually stomping challenges that would make other agents weep. While you're in this area, just kind of continue doing the other stuff. Are we on level 5 or level 4 right now? It's hard to tell. Yeah, I was thinking that. Then as long as we can beat the 2 ordeals and get enough energy, we're home free. Yeah, what I just said. Okay, where Black Fixer appears is gonna make a big difference. Because if, say, for example, Black Fixer appears somewhere here, or in information, then I feel like it doesn't matter because the abnormalities are so weak as to not be a threat, even if we don't know the exact work types. But if it appears in the lower layers, then we have to figure out the work types first. Oh, yeah, that reminds me. We haven't actually killed clerks yet. Yeah, I think we experimented with that before and found it to be the case. In that case, to conserve bullets, we want to score as many multi-kills as possible, when possible. Or what do we need to conserve bullets for, actually? I mean, silly. Next cycle is when we need to conserve bullets, especially since we're going to have fight fixer to deal with. Oh god, are we actually going to have enough bullets to execute every department? Might have to focus more on multi-kills if I want to get them all. Because basically the entire upper layer's left. Well, if nothing else, even if we run out of bullets, we should hopefully reach the point where it's impossible for either the bird or mountain to break out because there's just not enough clerks to do it. Stop glitching the door. Okay, we're out of bullets, officially. Now to remember what the heck I was even doing. Just gonna have these two go on a facility-wide tour, hitting all the places from one to one before all hell breaks loose. Okay, that's a good, and that's all that matters there. Having two agents to kind of go around doing this is very helpful. Allergies. Okay. Cool. Oh god. Starting to get around the time when my energy is starting to flag a bit. Ah, the beauty of Apocalypse armor. Nothing can scratch it. Apocalypse Bird was one of the most agonizing times I've spent in this game, but the effort seems like it was well worth it. Okay, the way I'm looking at it, we shouldn't have any energy problems, especially after the noon. It's all down to White Fixer and what White Fixer does. And I hate having to rely on that. Anything else we can talk about while we're waiting on this? Because at this point, we're just gonna kill each other. Okay, you're gonna end your little cross-country facility up to you. It kind of feels like we should be further along than we are. You know what could be good? Actually, now that I think about it, I almost forgot. Tatiana. Grab the Heart of Aspiration and work on Night of Despair. We're going to presume we don't touch White Fixer at all, so it's going to be very important for you to not take to have all your damage halved. You can join the anti-White Fixer crew. I'll talk about Middle Ishmael in a second. Even if White Fixer isn't resists black damage, anything that can make her die faster. And as long as Tatiana has the Heart of Aspiration, I think the black damage will basically even out. Okay. Go join our anti-White Fixer crew down here, small though it may be. See, the thing is, I'm pretty sure I empirically proved that a green stem is in fact one of them. Which is why Tatiana's the only one that ever touches it. Another thing we can do. We could have Pansy read the Skin Prophecy. Right now Pansy sits at 0.2, so even Skin Prophecy lowering the resistance isn't going to matter because of the copper. The important thing is having as much insight as possible. No? Okay. Well, that's kind of why I'm saying Pansy specifically. Any panic from White Fixer is death. I'm just wondering if Skin Prophecy can help Pansy last longer. That is the main thing I'm wondering. But if it's not a good idea, then it's not a good idea. I feel like I prepared everything possible, so... just kind of push along these last 2 levels and get this show on the road. Best case scenario is Black Fixer ending up in information. That is the one area I would be okay with them being in. But we'll see what happens. That's Nedzak kicking in. Okay. Okay. Gabrielle and Misona, downstairs in these chambers. The Black Killer crew can reach them pretty fast, but I'm gonna need you two there to kill the Black Fixer once he has his death throes. Okay, where's White right now? Where is White right now? I do not see her, and that concerns me. She might be spawning in an elevator right now. Oh, he's up here. First thing I'm gonna do is execute these last 2 clerks, just because they're in the way. Would it be a good idea to send Pansy to distract the Black Fixer or Tatiana? Well, maybe Tatiana, because it'd basically be unkillable. Yep. Distract while the kill crew gets there. Why are you the way you are, White Fixer? Okay, for the time being, you guys go up here. As far from the White Fixer as possible. I don't know what it's gonna do after that. Oh, before I forget. I need to see what the work types are before I forget. Which armor specifically are you talking about? We had this problem last time. I know I'm sending. Okay, we need to find out which work, if possible, which work insight is. That's gonna be what helps us a lot. Insight or repression, but we need to work out works fast. Black Fixer's probably gonna die without much issue, but Black Fixer by itself is never the problem. Now is it? I would say it's okay if Bella gets murked with a kiss. Nothing's gonna matter after this point. And Emilia, you can try working on Soda. And how are things going down here? Oh, Black Fixer has now turned their attention to the crew in front of them. Black shields. Black shields. Okay, I think insight is repression. Because that's what I marked. I'm so nervous I'm misspelling things. Good thing I'm writing with a pencil. Okay, Black Fixer seems like they're dead. Like, just dead. I don't feel like they're a threat to the Ancients. But that's not the problem. Okay, so instinct is insight, and attachment is attachment. Which means repression is instinct. Okay, and where is White Fixer going? Where is White Fixer going? Right. Oh, they're over here in Central Command. Oh. Everything's melting down. Okay, who can go where? Like, immediately. Old Faith, I think we can ignore. Or we could grab it and then just replace whatever it is if it goes sour. Or no, there's not really anything here I would want to replace. No, I think you. Okay, now that Black Fixer is dead, what are we doing with the other half of the equation? Okay, from this group over here, everyone is very damaged. I guess from death blows. Everything. Did you manage to avoid damage completely? That's kind of amazing. What's better for Scorched Girl? Instinct? Or... Okay. Oh my god, you somehow managed to avoid damage entirely. You crazy, crazy individual. Greenstem the armor? Because Tatiana has Smile, I believe. It's why I sent them against the Black Fixer. Oh hey, Finn's actually gonna face the White Fixer with slightly boosted damage. Okay, who else should we send to kill the White Fixer besides Pansy and Tatiana? I guess is my main question. Because I feel like those two would be best. But who else to try and make this go as fast as possible? That's gonna be these two down here. No, in fact, I think it's basically this entire department. They can all resist their own damage because they're there to face Mountain. And over here is all black resistant people. Or I think these are all red resistant people wearing white suits, so it might be better to send these guys away. I don't know who among them has white weakness or not. So for the time being, I'm going to send you guys here to the other side of the facility. Okay, Pansy. Oh, that's the laser. White shields. I don't think they can avoid being hit, so we're just gonna have to keep an eye on them as best as we can. Okay, for the time being, move over here to get out of that white smoke as fast as possible. They didn't panic because they had white resistant armor. Although, you guys also wait down here for now in the safe zone. Okay, Mountain of Smiling Bodies crew. Time to start having at, or maybe not all of them. What is the weaknesses of Exuve? Do you know? Oh, I think it's black. I believe it was a problem before with Pina. I don't know how good their white resistance is, but it's not weak. What are you doing? That's the laser again. And that's reflection. Pansy got hurt a bit from that. She can only take so much panic. I do not believe it has caused a panic, mainly because I made sure to send everyone away. Pansy worries me a bit. She's liable to get killed by... I just realized something. What are you doing right now? I think that's the forward laser again. No, that is the arc. Do I have time to send them to the bottom laser to avoid it? The bottom area to avoid it? Or do I have time to send all of them down to avoid it? Is the question. This entire group. I have 13 bullets right now. I could either gamble on them running in time or hit them all with white bullets. But these guys will automatically transport. Any chance I can mitigate damage is good chance. That's just that's just the stance I'm taking for right now. What do you mean undo SP lost? We can't... Oh, that is very big. NetSac is triggering, I believe. I guess the best I can do is get them to flee over here and hope the shields last long enough. Oh, it didn't matter. Training? Training looks to be fine. It doesn't look like anyone was over there. In fact, let's do a quick look at all our agents to see what's going on with them. It looks like no one is panicked, although some people are definitely not as in good a shape as they could be. Okay, even though... I don't like Emma being so weak. You retreat for now. Go up there. Everyone else, for the time being, attack. I don't know what you're doing, but I'm not going to be here for it. Yep, forward laser. Do you think that's far enough away to avoid the death throws, or should I send her away farther? Up. Owie. Why Central Command? Halfway done. You wanted to retreat? You know what? I'm just gonna hit the entire group with the Pale Shield so that Pansy gets hit, and just not fuss about with it. Down! One more Pale Shield just in case. No, at this point I think only one person is needed to take finish off. We did it! Now we just need to get all the energy we have left. Where's my little celebrity couple? Okay, you're both basically still at full health. Do you have an idea of just how much energy we need left? It's hard to tell. Yes, but I'm not comfortable with doing it until I know for a fact. We're gonna be okay. Well, there's no dusk left, so at the absolute worst, we can just kind of do one more cycle. I might skip Blue Star, or would it be safer to? Who would be safest to skip, basically, at this stage of things? Okay, I think for now I'm just gonna do Fogs. And if I need more energies, then I'll start going for Aleph. Yeah, that's why. Most of the Vovs, Gabrielle and Misona can skate through relatively unscathed, but Alephs are a different matter. That's why I'm saving the Alephs for the end. You know, The the anti-Mountain of Smiling Bodies crew are just awesome. Judgment Bird 2 will be saved until later. Yeah, we're just gonna take zero risks for that, if it's all the same to you. Misona, you still have a lot of health, so do him. Forgetting about Nedzak almost caused problems at a couple of points. But I handled White Victor so much better this time, and that made a lot of difference. Zona's starting to get a smidge dinged up, but I think she can still keep going. You can at least do Bird, even with your current health. It keeps looking like we're almost there, and then at the same time we're not. Yeah. Misona's definitely more than a little beamed up. Okay, she has enough SP to do a round of Night of Despair then. I feel like if there's anything to be said to these days is that it is also a good indication of how far a given agent has come. Because I feel like I handled the black-white combination fairly well. I got all the information I needed about the I got all the information I needed about the works. I integrated that into my strategy, and I managed to pull it off. Not that it wasn't messy at some points, but... Yeah, I think I might need to send Gabriella to another Aleph or two in order to, like, squeak past that last limit. Unless I get it, like, right now. Oh, there you are, Gabriella. Gonna need to work on mounting smiling bodies now. Repression, for instance. It is so hard to tell just how close we are, and I hate it. Why are you doing your run? Well, the good news is it should be a non-issue, hopefully, at this point. Still healthy enough to send to Judgment Bird, I think. Or at this point, it's best to stick with an A-Lith. So in that case, Blue Star. The thing about needing only a scratch is usually just such a non-issue in any other occasion except this one. That's the thing. That's why we forgot. I think we're just shy of energy. We have to do one more cycle. The good news is that everyone's gonna heal. Or, no wait, I think we do have enough energy. I think that message there in the middle is telling us that we're done. At least I think it might be. It's hard to tell. Or no, I think that's just saying Mountain of Smiling Bodies. How did we fall so short when we did as much as possible? That's what I don't understand. That is very annoying. In that case, we would have been screwed no matter what, because it had a meltdown on it. We would have lost energy either way. Yeah, but it didn't do the meltdown. I sent the person that had the sword to do it. Okay, Queen Bee is melting down, and who else? Oh, you. The good news is that I think everyone's healed up. So all we have to do is literally bust our... I'm still going to try and not have anything break out that I wouldn't want to break out. Okay, they both need works on it. Who can I send at her? London. London's probably safest. Or wait, Insight is a little safer for Queen Bee. Well, the good news... No, I confirmed that much. Uh-oh, I think we might actually run out of timer for Burrowing Heaven. Come on, Misona, get there faster. Crap, Burrowing Heaven broke out. Okay. The thing about Burrowing Heaven is that as long as we can see it, it's harmless. So, unless it's somehow, yeah, stay zoomed out. Tell me the second you see any red. No. It's not moving because we have our eyes on it. It's literally not gonna move. Okay. Okay, we got good work on Queen Bee, so she's not gonna do her pollen. That's good news. Am I allowed to say something? Burrowing Heaven breaking out is kind of your fault. Because I went to do a work on it right away, but you told me to hold off. Okay, we're good. We continue to be unable to tell just how much energy we need is the problem. Okay, where does that leave us? Is Gabriella fully healed? Question. She's not, so Mountain's out. Okay. Everyone back to your original departments. gonna fast forward until everyone is back in their departments. Tatiana can't do any work even with the Smile Armor right now, because they have the Heart of Aspiration. Do we have another person with Smile Armor in the area? I suppose that's the question. Or no, not the Heart of Aspiration, the Blessing from... Oh, it's 10:13 at night. I'm starting to get tired. I really hope we get the energy we need soon, because otherwise I have no idea. Okay, Gabriella, you do this. Doing as many VOVs and A-lifts as possible while we can. I thought we were done, and it turns out we're not. I hate that we can't tell how much energy we need. Okay, you have all the SP in the world, Gabriella, so you're gonna have to do Blue Star again. You know what might concern me the most right now? If even after all this, we still do not have the energy we need as we approach dusk, that would be problematic on many levels. I mean, I hope that doesn't happen. I hope we have it soon, but all that mess with Furry Heaven. I mean, look at the counter. It looks like it's right there. It looks like it should be done, but it's not. And I don't understand why. Yeah, Child of the Galaxy's just kind of been chilling down in architecture the whole time. Why do you ask? Just gonna keep throwing you at VOVs and A-lifts until either the day ends or something else happens. No one's done work on Child this whole time. Like, architecture hasn't been touched aside from dimensional. do we have anyone in Smile besides Tatiana? I guess that's the question. I think Mary has it, actually. No, that's Wolf. But why would he be at 0 if literally no one has gone to see him in all day? I guess that's the thing. Oh, you have Smile, and you don't have any damage on you. Okay, I think you might be good to visit Magic then. Why didn't I think of that sooner? Here I thought I had succeeded in slaying the day, and I hadn't. I'm starting to wonder if something is genuinely wrong here, because it doesn't look like the numbers up there have moved at all for a while now. Do I still send Galena out to get a stone just in case? It literally doesn't matter what we do with this kid. We just gotta do it. Judging by the little interface there, we're at 6 right now. Okay, Galena has a pebble now, so there shouldn't be any issues with that. Misona, do the bird. I'm gonna keep doing high energy stuff just to see what happens. Yeah, it kind of feels like if it was an energy thing, I feel like we should have cleared it by now. It doesn't feel like these numbers have moved at all. Weird. Do I keep going high energy stuff, or do I just start spamming works? You know what? Just to be safe, I'm going to look at TQ real quick. Okay, we were a level short. I just look at the TQLP and it said that the 6 has to be there and we have to reach the end of the day. So I think at this point it really is just a matter of spamming works. A bajillion works on these two only. Well, I guess the good news is, if anything happens to break out Burrowing Heaven again, we know how to deal with it. I always try to think of a day in terms of lessons learned, because at the end of the day, that's really all we're doing in this game. We're learning lessons. And Bert broke out. God damn it. I'm just gonna wait for the bird to go back in before I do anything else. Okay. Great eye, and this goes well. Done. Okay, yeah, it was that we were too early. Why does it say someone died? Or is that like some kind of trumpet or something? Fair enough. Okay, what have we got? Get away from me, stalker. No. Also no. Huh. Okay. Do we go with the Zayn or do we re-extract? Fair enough. We can clear out a Zayn. No. No. Oh, I hate all of that. I feel like this might be a re-extract. Unless we want to get more red shoes armor. I can't believe we made it out of that. Jesus. Oh, hi. Do you remember when we still knew the warmth of the sun? We've become too cold to continue cherishing such a thing. No, in fact, we weren't meant to bask in such warmth in the first place. You feel it too, don't you? And I can see you already feeling the nostalgia in the air right as you step into this room. And there's a tale of two doors. Those two doors that never wanted to be open, but had to be. Hey, there. God, it's been so long I've actually forgotten my voice for Carmen/Angela. Hey, it's me. Are you there? Can I come in? I didn't want to listen to what would come next. I wanted to pretend I wasn't in the room. Because I knew what she was gonna tell me. Sometimes her thoughts could be extremely reckless. It really frightened me whenever she did that. I saw her eyes right after opening that door. She walked into your lab and started illustrating her hypothesis, carefully yet decidedly. You wanted to tell her it was preposterous, but like always, she had you persuaded. You had no choice but to admit it was the only way. What made me, us, so upset was how much it hurt to listen to her put it so calmly, as if it were none of our business, and how much we loathed ourselves just for having to tolerate it. We can't seem to get any further than this. However, we will break through somehow. We've got Carmen with us, after all. Don't worry, I think it'll all work out. The biology scans show that Carmen is the fittest candidate, but we haven't run the precision test yet, though. So if we wanted to find another candidate, we can always... Carmen can... Carmen is... Carmen would... Carmen... You should have been the one to die. The research wasn't bearing fruit. People were growing tired, yet their eyes glittered with expectation. She was on the edge. One more step would make her fall. I do not think that was the Gebra voice. Or rather, the Jasper voice. I should probably do a new one at this point. We made it, but we're still being stalled. Then that day, when Enoch's breath stopped, she finally realized. Well, my first instinct was Gebra because the box is red. That her path was always in sight. Just one glance below the fall, and she'd never lift her head again. She wouldn't respond, no matter how many times I yelled. Only the sound of flowing water filled the air. I just kept yanking the doorknob like I were insane. Yet I hoped it would never open. I hoped and prayed countless times. The first thing I saw once I opened the door was a pair of closed eyes. She stepped into the bath itself, so that not a fragment of needless emotion like guilt would pile up on us. We saw with our eyes so clearly. She was bleeding out and delirious, but she still held on to life. We violated her body with our own hands and buried her underneath the ground. Why was she so cruel, and why did we have to become so cruel? We asked this question without an answer to the toast that celebrated our success blossomed with death. However, I have found a way to redeem us at long last. You have come to the right place. This is the room where she sleeps. Don't worry, she won't wake up with this much noise. Can you meet her again? Let's do it like this. Ask her, she who was always watching you from the beginning. I have something I should confess. I actually have a much weaker heart than everyone thinks. I always say stuff like, count on me and just follow me in front of everyone. But I'm never sure about the things I do. If anyone were harmed or put in trouble because of what I do, I would definitely be shaken and end up hating myself. I know that. That's why I need to ask you for a favor. No matter what I may become, Please finish what I started. We humans have weak hearts. One crack and it will easily crumble. I am no exception to this, but you'll endure through it. There's only one way out, and it'll never change. You know what I'm trying to say, right? Are you unsure? I have this routine I do whenever I'm afraid of the path I have taken. It's like being a plant, photosynthesizing. Ease up your tension and just close your eyes. Yes, just like that. I would love to close my eyes, but I'm in the middle of a cutscene. Make yourself as comfortable as possible, so that your mind finds itself comfortable too. It tickles, no? But just wait. Now, fade away without a trace. Oh geez, why are her eyes red? Yes, I was the only one. I was the only one who could fulfill her ideal. I was the only one who could finish it. Only me. However, she never told me this path of hers would be riddled with such vicious thorns and spikes. This is the bucket created from Carmen's sacrifice. The bucket is the beginning and the end destination of this place. Cogito is endlessly produced here, spewing out life and death. When we saw that bath overflowing, we thought everything was over. However, we couldn't have been more wrong. She's alive right now, as this. She saw every path we walked. In reality, her ideal was simply too grand in the first place, and our power too minuscule to fulfill it. We sacrificed everything of hers without a trace left behind, but you and I, we remember things we've done to become a wing, to stay a wing. It was revolting at first. But you see how we acclimated to it after the first few times? We flawlessly realized our hideous actions, just like all the other wings. No, not just that. We even evolved our own unique cruelty that can't be found in any other wing. The story of how human sacrifices are required to fulfill our ideal needed to be continued. So we had to put on the guise of simply being manic about energy production. Though we know the truth all too well. We were really only pretending while we were so indifferent towards the count. Were we really only pretending while we were so indifferent towards the countless deaths? Probing and combing through the brain of a woman to blend into the world, to evade the head and the eye? Throwing a person into the jaws of a monster just to gain some energy? Reincarnating your colleagues just to make them live through the same agony again? Do you really think those are things any normal person would do? Yet we closed up our eyes and ears and numbed ourselves. We eventually felt nothing for what we do. I named myself Abram to remember you, our sins, sacrificing the innocent. What did I even expect to achieve doing all this, founding a showy corporation? I don't even know anymore. Does it really matter at this point? No, it doesn't. We were wrong from the start. Our very existence is wrong. You and I, all that's left for us is atonement. You already knew. You know we didn't meaninglessly embrace this pain. Tiferet knew that a long time ago. I guess that's why he always walked ahead of me. One day, I realized that you were also looking towards somewhere with a clear vision, just like he did. I just didn't want to admit that I was lagging behind. That's why I was always so frustrated. I'm the Sephiroth of the middle layer, head of the central command. I can't afford to fall behind like that now, can I? That's the reason why I said I'll count on you and hold expectation. Promise to show me someday, and show the world the fruit of our pain and labor. You'll fall on the ground no matter how much expectation you hope you have. You know what? Photosynthesis is for plants after all, things that actually take sunlight. It was never for something like you and I. Don't you know this already? We drove Carmen to death. We just saw that. Okay. I'm gonna try to workshop a new Gabriel voice because the raspy one is hard, and especially this late in. I was always furious without any real reason. It always felt like I'm missing something, but I never knew what that something was. I vented this anger of mine. It just keeps turning into the Jasper voice. God damn it. I vented this anger of mine in a rather bad way, as you saw. This madness without purpose would never go away. If you didn't stop me, it would have grown bigger and bigger. It would have eventually devoured me. Look, we're never going back to how it was before. The situation's changed way too much. But I was able to keep my promise with her because you stopped me at the very least. You also have to remember this. She would want you to protect what we have left, rather than just languish in guilt. Courage to protect. Yes, she entrusted me with what's left. But we were not the person who Carmen thought us to be, no. The only person that believed in us was gone. There was no one else left around us. Manager, do you know why I chose to join your small company instead of any of the grander wings? Of course, Carmen's moving speech did pique my interest, not gonna lie. However, a decisive factor for me, it was because I liked how everyone here trusted Carmen. You know how meaningless the word trust is nowadays, don't you? That's not all, manager. Carmen trusted in you entirely until her moment of death. Everyone else who remained did too. Why do you think I decided to stick with you until the end? Just look around you now. Everyone gathered here just for you, and they're waiting expectantly. Those who are faithful and trustworthy. How can you be so certain? Carmen lies here, neither alive nor dead, but a secret third thing. How can you walk towards the unpredictable future, leaving her behind here? We are obliged to remain trapped in this cycle of eternal punishment. Yet still, you want to reach for tomorrow? You want to escape this endless regret and atonement? Yes, because I'd like to finish this game sometime this century. There's one final door past here that wasn't written in the story. It's the one I can't open. It only opens to those who are not soaked in regret. Think you can open it? Why do I only see darkness? Why does my voice not reach you at the finale? Whoa. Oh my god. Well, next week is going to be a Gibra rematch, but one that's slightly less scary. On the other hand, I've also completely forgotten how to fight Gibra, so I need to look over that next week. Lightbox Meltdown level 10 or Neutralized Red Mist. Yeesh, that's harsh. Anyways, we can worry about that next week. I'm just gonna start it up, so I can make a bookmark here. The Chesed starts at 2 already, which really sucks. Let's look down at architecture. Architecture is not okay. Galena's face looks like it's actually very fitting for what's going on. Anyways. Over here we have the fairies. And over here on the other side, we have red shoes. But for now, since it's almost 11 at night where I am, I'm going to log off here. I'm gonna get some goddamn sleep. And next week, Gebura hopefully will go down in one try. Or at the very least in one stream. See you all then.